Uh, Miss Gulshan, just see to it. Okay, fine. I'm starting now. Uh, Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan and Organ Donation India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today's topic is not only current, but very, very relevant, very important. And the topic is secret of long life. And every one of you knows that everyone wants to live quite a long life. But what is the secret? And to discuss and to unfold this mystery, today we have a very elite, knowledgeable panelists are with us. And I would like to invite my first panelist of the today's program, and he is Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is a senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King's George Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for a brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different groups and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and practical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for 41 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed several times in domestically as well as internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, today's topic is a very interesting topic, and topic is secret of long life. And you being a senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor, you will be the one of the best person to speak about the secret of long life. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Good morning. A very interesting topic. I am sure that since ages, people have craved, people have longed to have a long life. And each one of us want to live a long time. And we also want to know how those who have lived a long life, or those successful people, how they have lived long life, we would like to know. This discussion is a easy going, very practical way of how people have lived long life. First of all, I usually begin with our great grandfathers, and fathers' generation. At that time, they didn't have corporate hospital, multi-specialty hospitals. They barely had probably one qualified MBBS doctor, rest all vets and hakims in the whole city. And they ate more than us. They slept better than us. And they worked longer than us. They might have had lesser CTC and lesser carry back home pay packet. They might not have seen thousands and lakhs, but they were living longer life. So there were some practical secrets which they have left behind as a legacy, which perhaps we have put a veil on our face and we have blinded ourselves. We are refusing to take note of that. Each one of us have been privileged to have had access to either our own grandfather, own father, mothers, or some other people in the neighborhood. That's what the society is meant for. Society is meant for playing everybody. They're playing a role model to others. If I don't smoke, I don't motivate others to smoke around me. If I do smoke, I motivate others. I prompt others. I make others feel tempted to smoke around me. The generation which we have left behind, let's celebrate, they have set many role models to live longer. And a few of them we shall be taking up today. Haven't we heard about early to bed, early to rise is the simplest way to be happy, wealthy, and wise? Is it just a proverb? Is it just something to be spoken and heard and forgotten? How often and how many of us can afford to sleep these days, even at 10:30 and 11? We have just turned this dictum around reverse way. Late to sleep, late to get up is the new trend. Have we forgotten that those wise people, they set their rhythm or their biological clock with the cosmic biological clock, and they fine-tune their biological clock with the cosmic biological clock and allowed the cosmic biological clock to take over and keep them healthy and keep them survive all the ups and downs in life. In fact, many diseases, if we look back, for many diseases, people were not taken to the big hospitals. Of course, there were not many around, but they were nature's places, like going away from the city, the sanatoriums. Mr. Lal, his family owned one, if I remember correctly. People were taken away from the city in the most salubrious climate, airy place, open place, sunshine, and they allowed sunshine and nature and air and the greenery, who were and who are the original natural healer. Let those natural elements heal them. Today we are more educated, we are wiser, and we are taking so many medicine. I'm sure each one of us who has crossed 40s or 50s or 60s is taking no less than about half a dozen tablets in a day. And half a dozen would be lucky enough if that's on that number. Some of us take more than that. So what have we learned or what have we lost? Have we gained more or have we lost more? I think we have lost more. And if the topic is not about regretting what we have lost, okay, about gaining back, if we can gain back what is not far away. So the secret of people long life, one of them is managing your sleep, managing your activity, managing your habits of eating, and managing the contents of the eating, and managing the people around you who nourish you. I would begin with the last. Today, I shall be deliberately speaking less because my other three co-panelists, each one of them is experienced and wise person. They have beautiful content to share about, so I would look forward to them. But managing people who nourish us, something very simple, secret. We call our neighbors a chacha and tao, auntie and uncle and kaka and kaki. And we looked up to interacting with them because they were the extended family. They made us find meanings in life when we found that we have reached our wits' end of the confidence, end of the spirit. And when we were on the verge of mild depression or major depression, the neighbors took care of us. The uncle and aunties and the grandparents, even of our neighbors, they took care of us. Ki beta, dheeraj rakho, kaise theek hoga? Today, we have thrown all of them out and we think we are wiser. No. The secret of long life, what they practiced was humanity, the colony, the society. Everybody was part, everybody was unappointed caretaker of your emotional and physical health, directly, indirectly, without any payment to that. That's why whatever way we are living today, we have learned many things from our people who were elder to us. That's one part, social, emotional nourishment from people around us. Today, we don't recognize even our cousins, our own brothers, sisters. We have thrown them out because we have too many things in our own life to find time to connect to them. And we are suffering. And we go to the hospital and we pay heavy bills. Relax. Second part, living long life, secret, another simple secret. The nature and the God has been kind enough to provide us with everything, whatever is required for us. Like computer technology, everything is inbuilt. So with us, everything is around us, inbuilt. So the water content. We were supposed to drink 8, 10, 12 glasses of water. Today we drink Coca-Cola, we drink Pepsi, we drink other synthetic juices. And that too in much lesser than desired quantity. And the whole body with supposedly 7 billion cells, which each cell has got a kitchen by itself. Each cell has to make the food. Each cell needs a lot of water content to keep the kitchen running and to eliminate whatever the leftover is there. Are we devoid of that basic intelligence that no kitchen in anywhere in the world can run without adequate water supply? Food can't be cooked. Kitchen can't be clean. How can 7 billion kitchen in our body? How can 7 billion cells in our body can be expected to provide us nourishment and expected to clean up, get rid of the toxins accumulated? But then we are super intelligent. I'm happy to see that Mr. Lal not prompted by this one at top. Even otherwise, he keep on sipping water, and that's maybe the secret of his long life. And I won't ask his name, and I won't ask Gulshan or Jigisha's age. So, one secret is keep on hydrating yourself. Keep on taking adequate water. Some of these things which come on the internet at time that you may end up having a little kidney trouble and you would be taxing your kidney. No, body has got its own innate intelligence. Body is not going to be overfed with about water. No, body knows where to stop. So you can easily take 10, 12 glasses of water. Another thing which I find very simple and very effective, very impressive, inspiring, which I've seen people of that era who live long life. Even now, those who long life, I look forward to interacting with them and learning from them. And very simple principle, which I would like to talk aloud to anyone who is listening to this program, any part of the country, any part of the world. Thinking less, working more. In fact, the people of that era, not that they didn't have mind, or didn't have thinking mind, but most of the successful people, they work 90% and thought 10%. And we, the descendant of the great people, Gulshan is smiling, and whom is she smiling at, whether at me or someone else, that we think 90% and we work 10%. And then we say we need tranquilizers, we need anxiolytics, we need sleeping medicine because we don't get sleep. We have allowed the mind to think more and more and more and endlessly, never ending, never stopping, and work 10%. So there's a gross imbalance in people's life. So they not only do not reach far in the efficacy in the office front, work front, they also cut short their own life because excessive thinking means secretion of a lot many undesirable hormones, undesirable chemicals in the body. And those chemicals in the body damage many parts of the body, including heart and arteries and liver and kidney. And eventually we suffer from some or other disease from which is very, very difficult to get out. So ironically and interestingly, we have become expert in creating diseases and tripping our life, cutting short our life. And this is most fashionable, most in thing in Western. More you move toward the West, more you eat a bigger Mac burger, you eat something very, very Subway, big sandwich, you eat red meat in so much quantity, or you eat more than what your stomach is permitting you to, or drink half a bottle or so. That's why we see the phenomenon, what is happening. It happened day for a study in Texas also. So not only living longer life, we are becoming expert in cutting short of our life and life of the people around us. Why this imbalance? If we think we are thinking people and reasonable people, we should look into it. Rather than making our life simpler, we are making our life complicated. And that's becoming the trend, that's becoming the fashion. So why we are so bothered about other people's life and even in the world, and we are so neglectful about our own life? We do not address the mess in our life, and we are interested in knowing everyone else's life, be it in South America or be it in South Africa or be it any part of the world. Isn't there a balance that we have an iron our own clothes and we are telling everybody else, you iron your clothes are not iron? This is how the fashion is, to have one upmanship on everyone else around to prove that I'm better. And this is how our mind has been playing a very destructive role in cutting short our life. Many people would not believe what I'm saying. Many people may find different kind of looking into analyzing it on what basis am I saying. But isn't that happening? People in 20s are becoming victim of the heart disease or cerebral attacks. People in 30s and 40s are leaving this world on what basis? Why? They should have lived a long life. So I'm stopping here and I'm looking forward to hearing Gulshan and Jigisha and one more lady who's about to join from Jaipur and waiting for her. All the best to you, Mr. Lal. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your views. I will just summarize in one famous dialogue. Babu Moshaye, Jindagi badi honi chahiye, lambi nahi. Dr. Rajiv Anand says, if you have a long life, your secrets are that you should enjoy the life with proper way, with ethical way, and the way our forefathers have enjoyed. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving the secret of long life. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Miss Gulshan Gangwani. Ms. Gulshan Gangwani is a US resident for about 30 plus years. She works in a hospital in Pennsylvania as a respiratory therapist in mainline health. She has done BSc RRT. She is certified in neonatal resuscitation and also in the pulmonary rehab program. Her hobbies are cooking, music, watching dance shows, and most importantly, learning spirituality. Welcome, Ms. Gulshan Gangwani on our show. Ms. Gulshan Gangwani, first of all, we are very thankful that you are joining from USA, and it's almost more than midnight now. I must say it's 2.5 hours ahead of us. So thank you very much. And you have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned. Now we would like to know your views on secret of long life. Ms. Gulshan Gangwani, please.
Good morning to all of you. Hello, everyone, and thanks for inviting me to this platform, Mr. Goel and Dr. Anand, to share my thoughts on secret of living a long life. I must say, Mr. Goel, you beat me to my line, but I have jotted down my thoughts in a systematic manner and will be reading from that. These are from my personal experience and scientifically collected data. Mostly the data is US based. Most of you must have heard the famous dialogue which Mr. Goel already mentioned. Zindagi badi honi chahiye, lambi nahi babu mushai. Translated in English, it means life should be quality, not quantity. That is, have a fulfilled life, not number of years. So what are the secrets of living long? If you have heard the phrase, how is life? It depends on the liver. Here the pun is on the word liver, the same way the emphasis each individual puts on which word, living or long, is a personal choice. The top 10 countries with the longest life expectancy, which was updated in 2018, are number 1, Japan. Legendary for its citizens' long lifespans, Japan yet again is the country with the longest life expectancy in the world. 2, Switzerland, perhaps better known for chocolates and watches. The Swiss as a people tend to live quite a long time. 3, Singapore. 4, Australia. 5, Spain. 6, Iceland. 7, Italy. 8, Israel. 9, Sweden. And 10, France. India and China, with the largest population, are nowhere close. The 5 longevity places to live in, according to National Geographic, known as blue zones, are the hotspots around the world with the highest percentage of centenarians. These are Okinawa, Japan; Sardines, Italy; Nicoya in Costa Rica; Yucatay in Greece; Loma Linda in California. Now, to me, let us break up the secret in 5 parts of a circle: genetic, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. The topic is about living a maximum number of years, where most people live up to 70 or 80s, and very few make it to 100. And in extreme cases, you can find in the Guinness World Book more than 100. Now, most people think that living to the age of 90s and 100 is in the genetics. A person's lifespan is thought to be thoroughly determined by the combined effects of genetics and environmental factors. Twin studies, however, suggest genetics only account for approximately 20 to 30% of an individual's chance of surviving to the age of 85. Lifestyle choices, particularly diet, exercise, and smoking habits, play an undisputed role in determining not how long one will live, but also how well one ages. Genetic factors can contribute to the degree of longevity in at least 2 important ways. An individual may inherit certain genetic variations that predispose him or her to disease that decreases longevity. That is one way. Other gene variants may confer disease resistance, thereby increasing it. Coming to the mental part, no one has taught us how to think right. We are taught languages, science, mathematics, arts, but never how to think right. Living in the prison of your mind will have a big impact on your lifespan. As we know now that dis-ease of the mind leads to disease of the body, which will lead to premature death. I repeat, dis-ease of the mind leads to disease of the body, which will lead to premature death. Emotional part. If you cannot think right, your emotions and feelings cannot be right. So a vicious cycle has started. If you're emotionally upset, whether it is feeling depressed, angry, hurt, etc., all these negative emotions will lead to a downfall. We don't have the capacity with negative emotions to feel light and to let go. We also have no acceptance. Vice versa is also true. Coming to the spirituality, if you think right, your emotions are fine and you will automatically be on a spiritual path. Your chakras are activated, your knowledge becomes wisdom, and you are set on a beautiful life, and automatically your lifespan is increased. But if your thinking is not right, then your emotions are not good and you cannot be on a spiritual path. A coin has two sides. When head faces up, tail must be down, or vice versa. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. There is either light or absence of light. So you can be either healthy or not healthy. There is no in between here. Coming to the important part, physical, the number of years of lifespan. Some do's that play an important role as suggested all around the world. Most commonly cited things to do. Keep a calm mind, stay calm, and do not let your feathers get ruffled. This is the same advice that supposedly a 256-year-old Li Xing Yen said in addition to his 3 other secrets. Don't retire. Stay curious about life. Do work you love and continue to do activities and participate in the community. Eating right and staying active. This is considered traditional longevity. Friends, social networks, and family. One of the longest running Harvard studies of all time follow men from college to the present day. George Berland commented that in regard to happiness and life satisfaction, there is 70 years of evidence that our relationships with other people matter and matter more than anything else in this world. Choose your friends wisely. If you hang out with obese people, you will end up getting fat. Or, as Dr. Anand said, if you're around a smoker, you will learn how to smoke. Number 5, have a hell of a good time. Just a general love for life, a constant curiosity, and desire to learn, grow, and live. Protect your DNA. You think I'm going too much scientifically, but just a very simple simplicity about it. DNA chromosomes become shorter as you age. Lifestyle changes can boost an enzyme that keeps them longer. Be content, forgiving, and spiritual. Manage stress or learn to de-stress. Strengthen yourself, that is, train regularly. Focus on eating superfoods, fruits, vegetables, and lose weight. Stretch and do mobility work daily. Getting out of debt, that will cause you so much stress and tension. You will grow old very fast. Get at least 7 hours of sleep. Drink plenty of water. Minimize your desire for material things. Be grateful for what you have. Some recommend eat like an Okinawa. People of Okinawa live longer than any group. Their diet is high in green and yellow vegetables and low in calories, and they eat only 80% of their plate. Others recommend eat a Mediterranean diet, a plant-based diet, eating light and less. Quit smoking. Drink in moderation. Heart disease is less common in people who drink. A glass of wine is good for you, but don't overdo it. Green tea and coffee combat many diseases. Sugar is a big addiction. These are all the do's and the don'ts. These are all the do's and the don'ts. The don'ts are the opposite of all these things. The Department of Work and Pensions has released a report detailing life expectancy in 2011 and comparing the generations at 20, 50, and 80 years old. The data sees 20-year-old 3 times more likely to reach 100 than their grandparents and twice as likely as their parents. While a girl born in 2011 has a 1 in 3 chance of living to their 100th birthday, a boy has 1 in 4 chance. However, compared to a baby born in 1931, the children of 2011 are almost 8 times more likely to become centenarians. More practices for healthy living are Ayurveda. In Sanskrit, Ayur means knowledge, Veda means life. This plant-based practice is all about preventing and healing disease through diet and various physical therapies based on individuals' dosha or mind-body characteristics. The 3 doshas incorporate the 5 basic elements of our world: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Yoga. Yoga is an ancient practice that has its origins in the Indus-Saraswati civilization in North India. Most importantly, a regular yoga practice adds another anti-aging tool to your belt. Studies have found that yoga, like other mindful wellness practices, can actually change your body at a cellular level and reverse the process of aging. Yoga also has a positive impact on the brain, which can decrease the risk of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. Tai Chi. Tai Chi, which is the foundation which has its foundation in the ancient Chinese philosophy of Taoism, is actually considered a martial art. Aside from improving balance and mental health, Tai Chi is known for lowering blood pressure, decreasing inflammation, and strengthening blood vessels. This is especially excellent for those with chronic pain, joint pain, or any kind of mobility issues. Macrobiotic diet. The Japanese philosophy behind the longevity promoting macrobiotic diet is all about finding balance, yin and yang, through whole, unrefined plant-based foods. And last but not the least, sauna culture. Boosting wellness and longevity by sweating out toxins and increasing your heart rate has been around for centuries. Finally, science has caught up to age-old wisdom, confirming what certain cultures have long known to be true. A 2020 study found a link between frequent sauna bathing and benefits to mental and physical health, including a reduced risk of dementia. To summarize this whole topic, science and genetics can say a lot, but everyone has to decide for himself or herself what choices they can make. The human body is a piece of wonderful creation. If overthinking can cause disease, then right thinking can reverse it too. These days, there are many spiritual leaders like Sister B.K. Shivani, Sadhguru, Gaur Gopal Das, Swami Muktanandji, just to name a few. And each one has one sentence in common: do not give your key to happiness to anyone. Happiness is an inside job, not dependent on people, places, or things. No one or nothing should take away your peace. If we can practice that, we definitely add years to our lifespan. So in the end, Babu Mashai, you can make life buddy and lumpy. So thank you for inviting me to this stage.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gulshan, for giving your views, and you have given in detail all the views about your long secret of long life. I need not to repeat it again. So thank you very much. And now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Ms. Jiksha Jain. Ms. Jiksha Jain is a journalist and having 14 years of experience in the field. She is right now associated with Midday Gujarati. She is an RJ with Akashwani and a YouTuber too. Her channel's name is Jiggy's Junction. where one can hear beautiful short stories written and presented by her in a podcast style. Welcome, Ms. Jiksha Jain. You have already heard Dr. Rajiv Anand as well as Ms. Gulshan Gangwani, and you have now we would like to know from you your views on Secret of Long Life. Ms. Jiksha Jain, please.
Thank you so much. सीक्रेट ऑफ लॉन्ग लाइफ इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे मुझे लगता है कि लोगों को भी ये क्वेश्चन होगा कि मैं यहाँ क्या कर रही हूँ. आई एम जस्ट 37 years old एंड आई डोंट नो मैं कितना लंबा जीने वाली हूँ, जैसे किसी को भी नहीं पता होता. पर शायद मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे इसलिए हूँ क्योंकि मैं एक हेल्थ जर्नलिस्ट हूँ. हेल्थ और वेलनेस पे मैंने हजारों आर्टिकल लिखे हुए हैं. वेलनेस की जब हम बात करते हैं, हेल्थ की जब हम बात करते हैं, तो कुछ बेसिक रूल्स हैं जो हमें फॉलो करने चाहिए, जिसपे हजारों बार चर्चाएं की है, बात की है. अच्छी नींद, अच्छा खाना, एक्सरसाइज, आपका बेस्ट शेड्यूल, स्ट्रेस नहीं लेना, खुश रहना, दोस्तों के साथ रहना, अपने हॉबीज को डेवलप करना, ये सारी चीजें जो है वो एक हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल के लिए, एक हेल्दी लाइफ के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. पर अगर हम बात करें कि लंबी जिंदगी, तो हेल्दी जिंदगी ऑब्वियसली साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन कि अगर आप हेल्दी हो तो लंबा जीने वाले हो. पर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हेल्दी और लंबी जिंदगी में एक थिन लाइन है. देयर इज अ थिन लाइन जो जिसको हम थोड़ा आज समझने की कोशिश करें तो हमारे आसपास ऐसे बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट बने हैं. आप लोगों ने भी देखे होंगे कि द पर्सन इज एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, हेल्दी, बहुत ध्यान रखते हैं खाने का, स्मोकिंग, अल्कोहल, कोई भी गलत चीजें कभी उन्होंने छुई भी नहीं है, कोई डिसीज भी नहीं था, फिर भी नहीं जी पाए, और सडन हार्ट अटैक से डेथ हो गई या एक्सीडेंट से डेथ हो गई. तो हम ध्यान रखें, वो तो जरूरी ही है. हेल्दी लाइफ इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. बट जब हम लॉन्ग लाइफ की बात करते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि एक सर्वाइवल टू द फिटेस्ट वाला जो फॉर्मूला है डार्विन का, उस पे भी बात करनी होगी. क्योंकि स्कूल में हम पढ़ते थे कि कुत्ते के एक साथ 5 से 7 बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, जिसमें 2 से 3 को डिसीज हो जाता है, इन्फेक्शन की वजह से वो मर जाते हैं. 2 से 3 जो होते हैं वो रोड एक्सीडेंट में मर जाते हैं, कोई उसे उठा के ले जाता है तो लंबा नहीं जी पाते, उसकी मदर की हालत खराब हो जाती है तो प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिलने से जी नहीं पाते. और इतने 5-7 बच्चों में से सिर्फ 1 या 2 ही होते हैं जो सरवाइव कर पाते हैं. और डार्विन को उस टाइम पे भी ये ख्याल आया था कि ऐसा क्या है जो ये 2 सरवाइव कर गए और बाकी के नहीं कर पाए. तो ऐसा क्या है कि कोई है जो 100 साल जी जाता है, कोई है जो 50 में ही अटक जाता है. और हम तो इंसान है, गॉड्स बेस्ट क्रिएशन, तो हमें ऑब्वियसली ब्रेन दिया है. तो बहुत सारे रिसर्च उस पे हुए हैं, जिसमें एक प्रोमिनेंट पॉइंट है लंबा जीने के लिए, वो है एथनिसिटी. जैसे जापान के लोग हैं, वो बहुत लंबा जीते हैं, वो सब जानते हैं. कुछ कुछ जगह के अगर आप रीजन में रहते हो तो आप जेनेटिकली लंबा जियोगे. वो एनवायरमेंट, जीन्स, सब कुछ ही उसमें आ जाता है, पर वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है. अब हम तो इंडिया में पैदा हुए हैं और हमारा लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी 69 ईयर्स है आज की तारीख में. So 69 is the average life expectancy in India right now. तो हम कहीं और तो पैदा होने से रहे, अब तो हो चुके पैदा. दूसरी सारी चीजें लाइफस्टाइल से रिलेटेड है, बट जैसे कि हमने बात की, शॉर्ट नहीं कहा जा सकता कि अगर हमने सब कुछ प्रॉपर फॉलो किया तो हम लंबा ही जिएंगे. यहाँ पे हमें थोड़ा सा ना फिलोसॉफी की तरफ जाना पड़ेगा। जब हिंदू फिलोसॉफी हमेशा हमें कहती आई है कि जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो वो फर्स्ट ब्रेथ जब लेता है तब से लेके वो लास्ट ब्रेथ जब लेता है, वो ब्रेथ के जो काउंटिंग होते हैं दैट इज प्री डिसाइडेड, लिखे हुए हैं, वो आपकी तकदीर है। मतलब अगर मैं आज पैदा हुई हूं तो अगर वो प्री डिसाइडेड है तो पता है कि मैं 50 साल ही जीने वाली हूं। इफ इट इज प्री डिसाइडेड तो क्या हम उसे लंबा कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि अमर होना, इस कॉन्सेप्ट से तो देव और दानव भी नहीं बच पाए हैं, तो हम तो तुच्छ मनुष्य है। और ऑफ कोर्स हमें लंबा जीना है। कौन कौन चाहता है कि नहीं, उनको जितनी लाइफ मिल रही है उतनी ही में खुश है। वो विद द फ्लो वाला अप्रोच यहाँ पे नहीं चलता, बिकॉज हमारा ब्रेन जो है वो हमें उस चीज की इजाजत नहीं देता कि हाँ ठीक है, जितना जी लिए बहुत है। कहीं ना कहीं मन में वो एक इच्छा होती है कि हमें तो लंबा जीना है। तो पहली बात तो ये कि अगर हम उस कॉन्सेप्ट को मान ले कि इफ इट इज प्री डिसाइडेड कि हम इतनी ही ब्रेथ लेने वाले हैं, तो हमें कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए कि अगर मेरी जिंदगी में मुझे 50 साल दिए हैं भगवान ने, तो वो 50 साल मैं पूरा करूं, ना कि मैं उसमें टांग अड़ाऊं, मैं स्मोकिंग करूं, मैं अल्कोहल करूं, मैं गलत खाना खाऊं, मैं अपने बॉडी को अब्यूज करूं, मैं जितने भी रूल्स है वो फॉलो ना करके अपनी मन मर्जी से वो 50 साल को पूरा ही ना होने दूं। दैट्स इन माय हैंड। अगर मैं 50 को बढ़ा नहीं सकती पर मैं 50 को पूरा करने की तो क्षमता रख सकती हूँ ना। हो सकता है कि मेरी लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी अगर 50 साल है तो क्या मैं इतना ध्यान रखूं अपने शरीर का कि वो 50 साल मैं पूरा जी पाऊं, मैं अच्छा हेल्दी जी पाऊं। वो तो मेरे हाथ में है। मेरे हाथ में ये नहीं है कि 50 में से एक दिन मैं प्लस कर लूं कि नहीं नहीं मैं एक और दिन जीऊंगी, शायद नहीं है मेरे हाथ में। उस पर भी बात करेंगे। बट मेरा ये कहना था कि अगर हम ये सोच के चले कि हमारे पास इतना समय है तो उतना तो हमें अच्छा ही जीना है, वो तो हमें डिटरमाइन होना पड़ेगा। दूसरी इस बात पे ले जाना चाहूंगी सबको कि हमने देखा होगा आपके, आई एम श्योर कि फैमिली में भी कोई ना कोई हिस्ट्री रही होगी, आसपास फ्रेंड सर्कल में भी, कि जब किसी को बहुत बड़ा डिसीज होता है ना तो उस टाइम पे डॉक्टर्स कहते हैं कि इसकी हालत बहुत खराब है। अब इस कंडीशन में उसके पास 2 महीने हैं। वो ऑन एन एवरेज बताते हैं कि 2 महीने हैं। बट मैंने खुद अपने एक्सपीरियंस से देखा है कि अगर उस इंसान को मन में वो है ललक कि भाई मुझे तो जीना है, मुझे इस डिसीज से फाइट करना ही है, तो वो 2 साल भी जीता है। वो अपना, ऐसा भी हुआ है कि वो डिसीज से फाइट करेगा और उसमें से बाहर आएगा। तो वो पावर जो है ना वो ह्यूमन ब्रेन की पावर है, वो इच्छा की शक्ति है। वो जो सर्वाइवल टू द फिटेस्ट की हम जो बात कर रहे थे वो उससे ही रिलेटेड है कि मुझे जीना है और मैं जीऊंगा। वो चाहे आपका शरीर साथ दे ना दे, चाहे आपके होरोस्कोप में लिखा हो कि भाई ये तो अभी इस साल गए नहीं, पर अगर मेरे अंदर जिजीविषा है, मुझे जीना है, तो पूरे कॉस्मिक पावर भी लग जाए ना तो मुझे नहीं हरा सकते। इस स्ट्रॉन्ग बिलीफ के बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट मैंने देखे हैं, आई एम श्योर आप लोगों ने भी देखे होंगे, जहां गो विद द फ्लो वाली बात आती है कि जहां सरेंडर आता है ना, जिस टाइम पे इंसान सरेंडर करता है कि बस अब मुझे नहीं जीना, या बस ओके आई एम फुलफिल्ड, मैंने अपनी जिंदगी जी ली, वहां पे पूरे यूनिवर्स के पावर भी लग जाए ना तो आपको जिंदा नहीं रख पाएंगे। सो दूसरे जो प्राणी पक्षी जीव जंतु से हम अलग शायद इसलिए हैं क्योंकि भगवान ने हमें इतना सुपर ब्रेन दिया है, उस ब्रेन के अनगिनत पावर दिए हैं कि हम अगर चाहे, अगर सही में चाहे, अगर इस बात पे भी काउंटर ये हो सकता है कि जो मर जाते हैं वो सही में चाहते हैं क्या कि वो मर जाए? नहीं, नहीं चाहते, कोई नहीं चाहता मर जाना। बट एक पॉइंट आता है जब इंसान सरेंडर कर देता है, एक पॉइंट आता है जब इंसान कहता है हाँ मैंने जिंदगी जी ली। तो उस टाइम पे भी अगर आप सोचते हो कि मुझे अभी ये काम बाकी है, मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फुलफिल करना बाकी है, तो मैं रहूंगा क्योंकि मुझे जीना है। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जो जी गए और शायद उनकी जिंदगी में भगवान ने वो 50 साल ही लिखे थे बट वो 70 साल जी गए क्योंकि उन्हें जीना था। तो कहीं ना कहीं वो चीजें भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, ध्यान में रखने जैसी है, क्योंकि लाइफ में मैंने देखा है जो स्ट्रॉन्ग हेडेड लोग हैं ना वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। और सिंपली अगर मैं लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी के डेटा आपको शेयर करना चाहती हूँ, 1800 में द एवरेज लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज जस्ट 25.4। 25 साल में लोग मर जाते थे। ऑल थैंक्स टू ह्यूमन ब्रेन एंड ऑल थैंक्स टू मेडिकल साइंस आज की तारीख में 2021 की लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी अगर हम देखें तो इट्स 69.96। 69.96 is the life expectancy 2021 में। इट्स वर्ल्ड लेवल एवरेज निकाला है। पर सोचो कि पहले से लेके आज तक में मेडिकल साइंस की ही देन है कि भाई बहुत सारी चीजें हैं ना, जैसे कुदरत का बैलेंस देखा जाए तो कुदरत इस तरीके से बैलेंस करती है कि वो चाहती है कि भाई मैंने तुझे एक वायरस दे दिया, अब तू 30 साल ही जी, ज्यादा नहीं जिएगा। तो इंसान सोचता है ऐसे कैसे, मुझे नहीं मरना उस वायरस से, और वो वैक्सीन ले आता है और कहता है नहीं मैं जीऊंगा। तो ये जो स्पिरिट है ना वो होना चाहिए। तो आपका ब्रेन भी आपका साथ देता है, या तो अगर आपका लीवर भी खराब हो गया तो ट्रांसप्लांट हो जाता है। पहले के टाइम पे वो फैसिलिटीज नहीं थी, और ये जो डेवलप की है, जो हमने लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी बढ़ाई है, उसका प्योर रीजन ही वो जिजीविषा है कि ह्यूमंस वांट टू लिव। और इसीलिए मेडिकल साइंस को इतना डेवलप किया जा रहा है, एंड आई एम होपफुल कि शायद हम कभी अमरत्व का सीक्रेट ढूंढ निकालेंगे, क्योंकि हाँ हमें जीना है, हमें बहुत लंबा जीना है। इसी बात पे थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस जिक्षा जैन। हाँ हमें जीना है, बहुत लंबा जीना है, सेज जिक्षा जैन। एंड जिक्षा जैन, the crux of our talk is the willpower. If you have a strong willpower, you can extend your life expectancy, which is in your hand. And she has given many of the examples how the life can be extended. And this is one of the point for a long life, one of the secret for the long life. Thank you very much, Ms. Jiksha Jain. Now, I would like to invite my last but not the least panelist guest for today's program, and she is Ms. Sonia Maheshwari. Ms. Sonia Maheshwari is a passionate corporate trainer and life coach. She is practicing as a solution provider to problems of life and business, and helps people to gain positive mindset and thus attain desired goals. Her forte is communication, negotiation, and leadership and team building experiential training. Under her banner of Simple Solution, she had conducted over 1,000 trainings pan-India. She was awarded the most outstanding trainer of 2020 for Rajasthan by JC India, and had been counselor with Limca Book of Record Event CAFY. She is also the regional trainer and director consultant for BNI Jaipur. Welcome, Ms. Sonia Maheshwari on our show. Ms. Sonia Maheshwari, you have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand, what Ms. Gulshan, as well as what Ms. Jiksa has mentioned in their time when they've spoken about the secret of long life. Now, we would like to know, because you are a corporate trainer, a life coach, as well as you are providing solution for the problems of life and business. We would like to know your views on secret of long life. Miss Sonia Maheshwari, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Goel sir. Thank you so much. Amazing talk by Gulshan ma'am, Jigisha ma'am, and thank you, Rajiv sir, for having me here, first of all. It takes immense pleasure to be amongst such an august gathering of speakers and talk about it. And well, when Gulshan ma'am and Jigisha talked about, the statistics, the data of all the longevity people here, and, it was a very elaborative part of it. But I feel I have a different purview on this particular topic. And being into this industry, one thing which I strongly believe is, in a person's life, what matters most is this TFA model, which says like, whatever are your thoughts, they will become your feelings, and eventually they will become your actions, right? So if I have a thought to live well, to live good, to live healthy, to live long, eventually the feelings will always be similarly positive, and finally my actions to my life would also be similar. I will do such actions which will, contribute for this this mindset of mine, which I have chosen, that I have to live a healthy, good, and purposeful life. So at the onset, I would like to talk about, I really like this concept of ikigai given by the Japanese. When that talks about, you should have a purpose in life, do something which you're passionate about, something, which you can be paid for, something which adds value. So whenever a person leads a life which has purpose in life, he lives a life full of passion. He lives a life full of enthusiasm. And once my feelings are enthusiastic, I'm sure you can relate, my actions are going to be speaking more louder about it. So everything I do, sometimes, people are talking about, how is this man so energetic? At this particular age also, he looks so good. At this particular age, look at his voice. I really admire Tony Robbins for his voice modulation and the kind of pitch he throws. At a particular age, people are talking in such a way which even people at 20s cannot talk about. So it's a matter of what is in your mind and which is coming out as your feelings in the form of your actions. And eventually, all have faced this tough time of Corona. And we've seen that people who were in their early 30s, 40s, 50s, they died out of no reason, very little infection, and, people lost their lives. But at the same time, people who were 90 plus also, even in our family, I noticed that it was such a shocking thing that, when everything was haywire, people above the age of 90 were also going to the hospital and coming back. So one fine day, I had this opportunity of talking to one of such family members that, what happened, how had been there in the 90s. So she was like, what? It's not about one day. This female of the house, she had to say that it was never about one day. It was about the entire journey of life. So, after listening to them, I really feel, yes, life is not governed by three things: our lifestyle choices, one thing, most importantly, are our health choices and our social choices. So lifestyle choices, the way we live, everybody knows, whatever Gulshan ma'am has already talked about, what adds the food habits and everything, whatever gives more power to us, and eventually leads to a longevity of a human being. But I got one more thing which I observed was, people who live a de-stressed life contribute more to such good health. People who, in all odd circumstances, people who can manage crisis management, people who can find out that there is always a silver lining even in the darkest cloud, they were found to be more positive, and they led to more healthier and longer lives. So while I talk about this, I could understand some of the very good habits of life, which, was a very different part of the mindset they carry. The first thing I observed was, you radiate what you manifest. So the manifestation was always positive. Anything they thought of, anything they envisioned, anything they talked about, anything they thought about their future was always positive. Anything they observed around was always positive. So this was something, a very good takeaway, that find out the most positive even in the most odd circumstances. Secondly, people, if one has this attitude of gratitude, I think you will always be contented. You will always have the satisfaction of living your life in whatever way you are. When you found that, such rich people could not just succumb to this COVID kind of a thing, and people who were not rich, but although, they could just manage because of their health a healthy lifestyle, and the good health they had. That was a real takeaway for everybody. And nevertheless, we find that this health consciousness has become an actual practice in everybody's life these days. So I think Corona was a blessing in disguise for the entire global, outlook that everybody has started thinking about health issues. One more thing, in my house, I would talk about my husband was never an early riser, but while it was COVID, he just took it to heart. He got up early and he had nature walks. So while he did nature walks, I could really notice him getting so de-stressed. And after a few experiences of him, I just asked him, "How is that such a big change in your life?" And he used to talk about that once I visit the nature, once I see the morning sunrise, it absolutely impacts me on a very, very positive scale, and my entire week goes amazing. So I'm sure people who go for treks, people who go for walks, people who love to be in the nature, with what all gift God has bestowed on us, I think that also has a great positive impact on one's mind. And as I said earlier, also the thought influences the feeling, and the feelings influences the action. So I think being in the nature also adds a lot of to people. And if you go back to the early centuries when people just had, when human race had just begun, it was only nature which prevailed. They had no idea. There was no civilized world. There was nothing, but still people could manage plucking leaves and just, crushing them and then putting on their wounds. And, there were so many things. So it was just a natural thing, resources which were there. But then, yes, they lived that healthy life. So out of all odds, most important thing is the way we live, the choices we make in our life to live that healthy life. One more thing which I really feel is, when I talk about stress, something which stresses everybody around us is the past baggage. So, some people have this habit of not forgiving. Some people are always carried away by emotions, and they pile up their emotions. They carry a lot of baggage of it. And then, every now and then they relate to those things. They relate to those episodes. They relate to those disheartening moments in life, and they stress them out. So it's not just about the physical stress they are facing, it's more about the mental stress, and then the mental stress impacts the whole body. And of course, the longevity as well. So it's a humble request to everybody. I think everybody should create this attitude of forgiveness. See, life is just, life is so uncertain these days, although we talk about longevity here, but yes, it's known to everybody that life is uncertain. And कहते हैं ना, जियो तो हर पल ऐसे जियो जैसे कि आखिरी हो. So live in the moment, live in the present moment, enjoy whatever you have. Be grateful to God for whatever has been there, and I'm sure that gives you a lot of positive motivation to lead a good, healthy life. This forgiveness attitude does a lot of great work. Again, I think what I feel was when you forgive certain things, even the people around you notice that you carry this attitude of forgiveness, and you carry a great impact on the generations next coming also. If you have to pass a message to people, I think we should really all talk of the attitude of gratitude and forgiveness, and that will help them to grow more, to have a better mindset in life, and to grow healthier and have this longevity concept with them. Eventually, while I talk about it, one more thing which I feel I observed was that people who pursued things which they were happy about, like for example, people whenever they did things which they were passionate, as in like my hobbies. See, doing as a profession is something else, but pursuing a hobby of yours, a particular talent of yours, which was always hidden in your heart somewhere, and now when you explore that talent or that hobby of yours, and when you find yourself doing good, or getting an old dream come true kind of a thing, it adds a lot of positivity, and it urges you to perform better. And the moment you have this performance better, you find a more purpose to life. I think all these are good reasons for anybody to have this longevity. So it's not just about living. It's not just about just living to live. It's about the quality we talk about, the quality we exhibit amongst ourselves, and the self-satisfaction. It's not about कि हम कितना जी रहे हैं, हम जितना जी रहे हैं उतना कितना खूबसूरत जी रहे हैं, बात उसी में होती. So I think this was an amazing session. Thank you so much, Rajiv sir, for having us here. There's so much to talk about it, but I think the data have been talked about it. But as a life coach, I think few things which I felt were very important with this positive mindset. the forgiveness attitude, and the way everybody live with a purpose and passion in life. And I'm sure this will all add to having a long life. So यूं तो मुंह देखकर बात करता है हर कोई, मजा तो तब है जीने में जब मेरे जाने के बाद बात करे कोई. Thank you so much.
मजा तो तब है जीने में जब मेरे जाने के बाद कोई बात करे, says Miss Sonia Maheshwari. Thank you very much, Miss Sonia Maheshwari. And Miss Sonia Maheshwari's emphasis is on healthy lifestyle. If you have a healthy lifestyle, that is what the life is. Thank you very much. Now, I would like, because I have some time left, so my last round, Dr. Rajiv Anand, what message you want to give to the youth? Because today, whatsoever we are talking, we have to leave some message for the youth. What message you want to give for the long and happy life for the youth? Dr. Rajiv Anand, please. 1 minute, please.
एक सिंपल सी बात कि सारी दुनिया हमको दौड़ा रही है, हमारा दिमाग भी हमें दौड़ा रहा है ज्यादा के लिए, ज्यादा और जल्दी के लिए, और उसी में शायद हम अपनी जिंदगी को कम करते जा रहे हैं. कभी रुककर सोचिए कि क्या ज्यादा वाकई में जरूरी है, क्या जल्दी वाकई में जरूरी है. थोड़ा सा धीमे होकर देखें, जो मिला है क्या हमने उसको सही तरह सदुपयोग किया है, एंजॉय किया है. थोड़ी देर रुककर थोड़ा थोड़ा कम करना शुरू करिए, जिंदगी नहीं हो जाएगी. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you very much. Miss Gulshan Gangwani, your message to the youth.
Looking inside, turning towards inwards, keeping yourself calm, thinking right, positive, and thinking right. I think that is the biggest thing that you can do. It's all starts in the head. Everything starts in the head. So very important to think right. Then, of course, everything just follows naturally and falls into place.
Thank you very much, Miss Gulshan. Now, Miss Jiksha Jain, your message to the youth.
सर आई फील कि आज के यूथ को स्ट्रेस की जो समस्या है उसको ओवररेटेड करके देखने की आदत है. जितने भी न्यूरो साइंटिस्ट से बात करें तो वो कहते हैं कि हमें कभी रिटायर्ड नहीं होना. हमें ये जो स्ट्रेस है इट्स एक्सट्रीमली यूजफुल टू लिव लॉन्गर. तो यूज दिस स्ट्रेस इन अ मैनर की जो आपके शरीर को, आपके दिमाग को ज्यादा हेल्दी बनाए, ना कि उस स्ट्रेस के बोझ तले आप दब के रह जाते हो और आपकी लाइफ क्वालिटी और क्वांटिटी दोनों तरीके से कम करते हो. सो मेरा यही मैसेज है.
Thank you very much, Miss Jiksha. Miss Sonia Maheshwari, your message to the youth.
Thank you, sir. So I really add on to what Dr. Rajiv said कि दुनिया से मिलने में सब मस्त है पर खुद से मिलने की सारी लाइनें व्यस्त है. So I request all the youth, so please spend time with yourself, have a self-talk, and important is a positive self-talk because your self-talk is your vibe. So make sure you not do a critical talk to yourself because that is very, very important. The way you talk to yourself, the way you manifest, and the way you attract energies, that is extremely important. So one more thing I would like to add is be a little patient. These days, what I find is the youth is missing out at patience. Sometimes मतलब जो राजीव जी ने कहा कि हमें जल्दी बहुत है, सही कह रहे हैं, हमें जल्दी चाहिए, सब कुछ चाहिए और जल्दी चाहिए. So and when you don't get things, you are very disheartened. So to all those youth who are disheartened, also I have just one thing to add on. Just ask yourself, क्या ही हो जाएगा भाई, अगर कुछ ऐसा गलत हो गया तो दुनिया में क्या ही हो जाएगा. There is always a way out. There is always a solution to everything. Just try and look for solutions rather than looking at problems. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So viewers, today you have seen the experts' views about the secret of long life, and they have given different views, but the ultimate aim is a happy, a healthy, and a long life. It is only possible if you control yourself. If even don't rush. जैसे पहले कहा जाता था कि माया मोह के चक्कर में ज्यादा नहीं भागना चाहिए, आपको उसमें अपने को कंटेंटेड रखना चाहिए. जो आपको मिला है उसी में खुशी ढूंढिए. If you will find happiness, what you are having, if you enjoy your work, then definitely your life will be more purposeful, and definitely your life will be, in whatsoever time period you are living, it's a happy and healthy life. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much. I am sure today's program is very much enlightened. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Thank you very much, Miss Gulshan Gangwani. Thank you very much, Miss Jiksha Jain. And thank you very much, Miss Sonia Maheshwari, for giving your very, very enlightening, soulful views. I am sure today's our viewers who wanted to know, everybody wants to know what is the secret. They know that all the secrets are within us if we will